Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from Big Sports News, back here again with another video. Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick preview of what to expect going into today's matches, that, of course, being Friday or day 2 of the CDL Major, as well as what happened during today's matches my time, or yesterday's matches your time, that, of course, being day 1 of the CDL Major, hosted by the New York Subline. Now, today was really crazy, and if I'm being honest, today's the day that I lost full. Like, I mean, like, look at this, bro. Look. 3-2 Ultra over Ravens. 3-1 LA Thieves over Faze. 3-2 Subliners over Rokkr. That's the only thing that went the way I was expecting it to. And 3-2 Mutineers over Breach. I'm like, dude, Vanguard is going out with a bang. This is exactly why this game frustrates me so much. You guys know I have algorithms and stuff to figure out like vetoes, and then I compare and cross-reference the vetoes that I think are going to pan out with the actual series layout. And a lot of times I get the series layout right to a T. But it's just the game is so random. Like, you'll expect the team to win their best map, and they get blown out on it because they lose spawns early on, and the squad spawns don't favor them. It's like so demoralizing. But anyways, looking at our first matchup, we had the London Royal Ravens take on the Toronto Ultra. Ultra iced up in the second half of the series. They came back. They are a momentum-based team, like I always say, and the momentum carried them after they won the Control 3-0. London not being good in Control is like really the Achilles heel of all Achilles heels, because you're giving the other team so much momentum when they like ice up and they're down 2-1 in the series and they have a hard point coming up next. Like, you're doing it to yourselves, London. Like, if you guys were winning map 3s, you would more consistently be winning series, because let's say you win map 1, lose map 2, win map 3. You look good going into map 4 to close it out. You have momentum on your side, and you also have the confidence of saying, okay, we just want to respawn. We just lost a respawn. Maybe we'll lose the next one. So London need to clean that up if they want to make a deep run at this tournament, but I don't know that they really will, because the losers bracket is so stacked. So looking at our next matchup, we had the Boston Breach taking on the Florida Mutineers, and Vanguard struck again. That's pretty much all I'll say here. The Mutineers played very well, but they really shouldn't have won the series. The Breach played really good COD. It was just another day of Vanguard. In our next series, we of course had the New York Subliners taking on the Minnesota Rokkr, and the Rokkr almost won this. They went up 2-0, and then they got reverse swept, and it was nuts. Subliners really put on for the home crowd, but yet again, another Vanguard moment. And then in our last matchup of the day, probably the most Vanguard moment that we've seen this year, the LA Thieves finally got their first win over Atlanta Faze. I think that makes them like 1-12 all time. So horrendous record for them, obviously, but they really need the points. So I'm happy that they were able to make the run and make things interesting. I just kind of wish that either Florida or LA Thieves would have lost, so it would make the race for New York to get in to the champs picture a little bit more interesting. Because they had to take out the guys that are directly above them in Minnesota to, keep that run alive. So looking at today's matches, we of course kick things off with Faze taking on the Paris Legion. I think it's a 3-1 for Faze. Not really a lot of analysis to give there, excuse me. Last match of the season for Legion, so maybe they play up and force a game 5 or something interesting, but I just don't see it happening. Johnny's really good, Gravity's really good, Temp's really good. Jimbo's okay, but I just don't think Legion pushed Faze to the limit or win the series, but who knows? This would be an interesting time to get 30 points. Get 30 points, excuse me. You would get 10 for the win if you're Paris. In our next matchup, we have the Toronto Ultra. No, we don't have the Toronto Ultra. We have the London Royal Ravens take on the LA Guerillas. And because this is Vanguard, I could see the LA Guerillas winning 3-2 over the Ravens. I really could. But I do think that because of the Ravens' form in Stage 4, they will likely win it 4-1. That's their record in Stage 4. I think they'll win it 3-1. And I think that they'll have strong performances and everything about the control as per usual. In our 4:30 slot, we will, of course, have who do the Mutineers play? The Breach, my bad. It's been a long day. We will, of course, have the Boston Breach taking on the Seattle Surge. And I could realistically see this going 3-2 in favor of the Breach, because they do need the points. Their backs are against the wall. And Seattle have most likely clinched champs at this point. Barring anybody else making like an insane run, even if NYSL make it in, they still can't catch up to Seattle in terms of points. They can only get 65 max and start at 110. So the most they can get is 175. So I feel like Seattle is all but clinched. Um, Especially since they're 5 points behind London. Like London clinched today, so by default, Seattle will probably clinch tomorrow with somebody's win or loss. Yeah. So looking at our next matchup of the day, we of course have Optic Texas taking on Minnesota Rokkr, as I expect or expected rather. And I still think this goes the same way. I still think Minnesota get the upset. They really need the points badly. I think they'll play up. And even though they're going into the jaws of a beast that is Optic Texas with Illy trying to make a resurgence, I just don't like Optic's form from the stage. And I don't think it'll carry over into a lot of success in the losers bracket. There is obviously the more likely outcome is if they beat the Rokkr, but considering how bad Optic's form has been in stage 4, it's just hard to put a lot of confidence in them because a lot of pros do think that online Vanguard translates well to LAN. I disagree because the teams that do well consistently online tend to get pissed on LAN. So I'm just like, there's no consistency to this game online or on LAN at all. Because Faze gets second consistently in this game. Like, that doesn't make sense. The guys who literally won all but 2 events last year. Um, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, looking at our next matchup at 7:30, we will of course see the winner of the LA Guerillas versus London Royal Ravens series and Paris versus Atlanta go head to head. So personally, I think it'll be London versus, of course, Atlanta Faze. And I think it'll be a 3-2 in favor of Atlanta Faze. Like most of you guys, I don't think that Faze will lose in this losers bracket. I think they make the run that I was expecting Thieves to make. But there's no Ravens to beat them from the lower bracket. So I think Faze are going to start the run tomorrow. I think they beat the Paris Legion and then follow up by beating the London Royal Ravens if they make it there. If not, I think they beat the Guerillas. I don't think it matters who they face. Excuse me, I think they'll beat anyone who's in front of them. So yeah, guys, I'll just about wrap it up for me. Wanted to keep this short and sweet. I hope I did. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the COD today. It was pretty crazy. Vanguard definitely won. I can't wait for the season to be over and to just be on a fresh game because I don't know how much more of this I can take. It's a roller coaster every time, and it's really hard to like do stats and like be an analyst in this game. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you guys really enjoy the COD today. The season's really shaping up to be probably the most interesting we've ever had. So I hope you enjoy all the matches at the major. I hope Crim6 and the NYSL boys make the run, and I hope they win it all. So yeah, guys, once again, this is Chris from Big Sports News, and I'm signing off. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, like I said before, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another update on what happened today. Peace out.